we need to briefly talk about the few specific items that no matter how you try to read the previous slides, cannot be taken out of employees' pay. So employee purchases of tools, equipment, and work clothes. So if you have employees who are expected to use their own tools in performing the job, that might be acceptable, but you cannot effectively sell the tools to them and take it out of their pay. If you are operation that does sell tools for whatever reason, whether available to just your employees or employees and other members of the public or something, then that's not to say you can't sell tools to your employees. They would just have to pay by separate transaction. Fines or penalties for misconduct. So you're more limited to suspending someone for future work rather than taking money away for past work in cases of misconduct. So if someone has showed up for work late too often and you want to suspend them next week, in which case they will neither work nor get paid, that is fine, but you can't look back to the previous week and say you were late so often that week that I don't even want to pay you for the time you were here. That would be unacceptable under New York law. The other major category, and something that in particular would be allowed in some other states, is repayment of employer losses such as spoilage, breakage, and cash shortages. So retail employees whose cash drawer comes up short at the end of their shift, they can't be required to have that money taken out of their paycheck. Now, that's not, again, to say that theoretically you couldn't have an employee who says, I feel so bad that we came up $50 short, I'm going to give you $50. By taking the money, the company doesn't violate the law. They just can't deduct it from the pay, and they can't tell the employee, if you don't give us that $50, then we're going to fire you, suspend you, discipline you in some way, shape, or form. Similar for situation where employee causes damage to company property, whether that be breaking an item or doing damage to machinery or the building itself. That could constitute vandalism, for which there might be legal consequences, and you might, depending on the value of the damage, be able to sue the employee to recover for the cost to the company of repairs, for example. But likewise, they could not be fired for not repaying the money. That is a slight distinction that I want to make between firing them for carelessly or intentionally damaging company property. I mean, in that situation, you could say, well, you ran a forklift through the wall. We don't want you working here anymore. But it would need to be separate in part. If you had two people who ran forklifts through the wall, and one of them offered to pay $1,000 to get the wall fixed and the other one didn't, and you fired the one who didn't offer to pay something, then you might have a problem.